What's going on, everybody? In today's video, we're talking about Mergestorm. Mergestorm is an AI agent, code review and patch pipeline that automatically reviews your GitHub PRs and patches them at the same time. So how to use Mergestorm? It's very easy. You simply connect your GitHub, log into the account with Google or GitHub, go to automations. In here, you can connect Vortex, which will automatically do the code reviews for you. You can also connect Cyclone, which is our agent that does the code patching. The reason it's called Vortex and Cyclone, Mergestorm, it creates a storm around your PRs. Vortex messes everything around. It does all the reviews, spits out the reviews. Cyclone pulls everything together, patches them, and gives you a nice final merged PR. They hammer the PRs down. Here's an example of how they do this for one of our open source projects, vad-proxy. Here's a PR where we did some front-end updates with SEO, fav icons, and logos. As you can see, the first thing that Vortex does, Mergestorm is Vortex. After you open up the PR, it's going to send off a repo overview. This is where it caches it for your actual repo, and for each PR, it updates the overview incrementally as you add new features. It uses that to understand the code base itself as it's reviewing it, and also it helps you kind of understand a little bit of the data flow behind it. You're not expected to read this. This is more for the agent to help him in the review pipeline. The first thing then, after the overview, it will fire off an actual review. As you can see here, how many files it reviewed. If you have a large PR with many files, it might stagger it. The point is, it will send off a review for the first part. Once you commit changes, it will send it off for the second part. And you don't really want to fire off 20 or 30 different things to fix, because Cyclone is going to have a hard time with it. So what happens is it sends off a couple of items, Cyclone patches it up with a comment, Mergestorm follows up with a couple of more additional items, some blockers. Cyclone says, no, we already reviewed this and it's not going to do any more commits. Everything is good and ready for merging. At this point, you can have a different agent review the final PR to see if it's merge ready, if there's any regression, or you can just do it yourself. Go to the headshot of this PR, try to test it, make any follow-up commits. This pipeline will continue to run, and essentially it speeds up your workflow so you don't have to sit around babysitting these PRs. Before, what I would do all the time is just copy this agent prompt into Cursor or Claude, have them do a follow-up commit, and just sit around for hours babysitting all these PRs. This makes it so that you can kind of move on to a different part of the project, or even a different project altogether. You let the PR churn complete, and then at the end, you sit at the merge gate, you play God, and you just make sure that the PRs haven't regressed. You can even just ask Cursor or Claude to double check everything, and it makes your code review pipeline a lot faster, a lot smoother. It allows you to write better code. These agents, again, they're powered by frontier models like DeepSeek and Claude, so it's always going to be completely up to date. You can disable any repos if you don't want to access. This is done through GitHub Auth. So if you don't want the agents to have any access to certain repos, you just disable them here, and they're not going to have anything to do with it, and they're never going to touch those repos. So other than that, I think that covers most everything. Again, this is the live activity feed. It's not fake. This is actually the agents running some patches or doing some things in some of the PRs. We've done over 470 PRs reviewed, over 2,300 patches, and we continue to do a lot of reviews. We highly recommend you guys. The free tier is 100 reviews per month, so you don't need to pay anything, no credit card, nothing. And if you like what you get out of it, you want to kind of bump it up, 400 reviews a month can do for $10. So again, it's really cheap to do, and I highly recommend you guys just to give it a shot. It really elevates your workflow and saves you so much time. Thank you guys so much for checking out this video. I'll see you guys in the next one.